What's up guys and welcome back. This vehicle does not need an introduction. It is a 2024, of course, Kia Telluride or Celluride, how some people call it. And for 2023, Kia refreshed it. So there's only a few changes for 2024 model year, but I haven't done the X line. This is the SX Prestige X line, one of the top of the line models that Kia offers for this year's lineup. And thanks to Gettle Kia and Bradenton, I'm going to be able to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to start right up front, and I'm going to point out some of the changes from 2023 to 2024, then jump on the inside, of course take it for the test drive at the end of this video. And if this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt, and here on Matt the Carguy I post 2 car reviews every single week. If that's something that interests you, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel. Consider subscribing, and now let's get back to this. Well, Kia refreshed the Telluride for 2023 model year, and they gave it the new headlights. And a lot of people were like, hey, it doesn't have my amber halos, which they were so used to it. So Kia brought the amber lights back. Now, 2023, they had the white lights. They have ambers in 2024. Now, this headlight unit, of course, contains the regular lights, the high beams with high beam assist. So the high beams go on automatically if it senses that there's nobody coming ahead of you, so you don't blind them. They also have the LED fog lights. Now on this X line and X Pro lines, also the grille has changed. It is now covered in this glossy black paint. Really good looking Kia logo, front view camera on this top of the line trim. Also the glossy black continues at the bottom portion of the bumper, and you have some functional curtains on the side. The design overall remains the same. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Nice flat hood with those 2 grooves on each side. Really nice. And now let's see what powers up this thing. There are no changes underneath the hood. It's still powered up by the same 3.8 liter V6 naturally aspirated, 291 horsepower, 262 foot-pounds of torque. By the way, if you're wondering what the GDI is, that stands for gas direct injection. Kia logo right on top, and the engine is made to an 8-speed automatic transmission. I like how clean this engine compartment looks. Everything is it's in place. Looks like it's accessible from both sides. Now the hood is held up by hood struts on both sides. It does have some sound insulation, so that should make for a nice and quiet ride. And I'm super excited to take it for a ride at the end of this video. Well, if you decide to buy a Telluride, you also receive a key fob like this. And on this X line model, SX Prestige, you're going to have the lock, unlock, hold for the gate, and hold for the panic button. And of course, the vehicle is equipped with the keyless entry system and the smart entry system. As you can see, I'm not touching anything, but as I approach the vehicle, the mirrors unfold, get this vehicle ready to be driven, and I don't have to press any buttons on it. All I have to do is reach out for the door and open it up. So it does have this smart entry system. And if you're looking at the color and you said, what is it called? It's called the Jungle Green, and that's one of my most favorite colors in the Kia lineup. It looks absolutely stunning. Even better in person than on the video, I think. It does have a lot of sparkle inside of it. So let's take a look at the setup. This is the X line model. They also have the X Pro models. And the difference between them, the X line is more luxurious. The X Pro is going to be more of the rugged one. So the X Pro will have the 18-inch wheels with the bigger size, bigger sidewall on the tires. The X line has the 20-inch rims, finished in this gloss black, 245 by 50. That's the size of the tire. You can see the nice sized rotors inside. You have this black cladding that goes around the wheel wells as well as the bottoms of the door. And what's new for 2024 is this gloss black trim that's on top of that matte black. Now, as far as the rear, what's important to mention that this vehicle has the self-leveling rear suspension in case you decide to tow something. Now, surroundings of the windows are in this black chrome. You have the piano black pillars. Top of the mirror, same color as the rest of the vehicle. You have the turn signal blind spot assist camera right in the mirror itself, and then you have the roof rails on top. Of course, if you want to add the roof box, you need the crossbars as well. Well, let's go around the corner. Let's take a look at the back. No changes in the back here. You still have a nice gate spoiler, third brake light. You have one of the cameras that's mounted up on top. That's for your rear view mirror. Exposed wiper, fully LED taillights right here. X-line on this one, Kia and Telluride spelled out at the bottom. You have, again, this is a different than in 2023. You have this gloss black trim, and you have the reverse lights as well as the exposed exhaust. Now, the X-Line and X Pro has a slightly higher towing capacity of 5,500 pounds. You also have the rear self-leveling suspension. Now I can open up the gate by pushing the button on the remote and let's see if it works. There you go. And let's take a look and see how much room we have inside. So right here behind the third row seat, Kia says it's 21 cubic feet, which is just a little bit more than on the Honda Pilot, more than on the Toyota Highlander, but just a little bit less than on the Toyota Grand Highlander. And you can also fold down the seats. Of course, the third row seat has got a 60-40 split, and you can just pull on those belts and let them drop. Now you can also fold down the second row seat from inside of this cabin. Look how cool this is. And now you have about 87 cubic feet of cargo total, which is again one of the leading in its class. Now the third row passengers, as you can see right there, are going to be enjoying their own cup holders as well as the USB-C outlet, and on top they have their own vents for their climate control. Underneath this floor you'll find a little bit more cargo space. As well, you have the access to the spare tire, which is underneath this vehicle. Now this is the cargo space. Let's see how much room we have for people. Check it out, guys. The second row seat definitely have enough room for a 6-foot tall adult. I have enough knee room, I have enough headroom, plenty of shoulder room. It feels very spacious on the interior here. I can even move this seat up just a little bit to allow more room for the passengers in the third row seat. And the interior is super premium. Now let me show you the details of it. So in the rear door panel, you'll find different types of material. This is soft plastic. You also have a nice sunshade as well as this trim piece, a little bit of aluminum, Twitter, regular Harman Kardon speaker down at the bottom. You also have heated and ventilated seats in the back, which is crazy. Power windows, of course, nicely wrapped in a leather armrest and a little bit more storage at the bottom of the doors. Now let's check this out. So what do we have here? Two captain chairs in this configuration. Now the seats are wrapped in the Napa leather. I like the design of it. I like the stitching on it. They're perforated, of course, because they're heated and ventilated. And right up on top, you have controls for your climate control as well as the lights, so you can adjust the temperature, fan speed, and the positions of where the air is going to be coming out of. Now in the seat backs, you have the seat back pockets, little hooks for whatever you want to put on there, and the USB Type-C ports, which is really clever design. Cup holders are right here, nice and high, so you don't have to lean down to get your drinks. And then down at the bottom, you do have the 12-volt power adapter as well as the 115-volt, 150-watt power outlet. There's no, basically there's no bump in the middle, very, very slight. Actually, it's flat. This was just a floor mat. And then you can access third row seat through the middle here, or basically by pushing the button on top of this seat, and let's get inside. Let's see how much room we have there. And this is where things get a little bit tight for an adult. As you can see, here are my feet, right? And not much room to put them in. And if I move this seat back, first of all, I don't think I'll be able to move it all the way back here. Let's see, this is all the way back. Move it like here, and here, I'm stuck. Now I can position it just a little bit towards the front, right? And maybe lock it in right here. And if there's some people that are a little bit shorter in front, I will have plenty of room here. Now, as far as the headroom, not a lot, but I'm 6 feet tall and I'm not touching it, which is a big plus. And by the way, here are your vents for the rear passengers. And oh, it feels so good in this Florida sun. And check out this headliner right here. Now this is what looks like Alcantara. This is like this micro suede headliner. Very nice and very premium touch. And of course, I can either get out from this way, or I can get out the way that I came in by pushing the button on top of the seat, letting it slide all the way forward. And I can also release, I believe, the seat here. There you go. Boom. So that's really nice and convenient way for the third row passengers to get in and out. And of course, the cup holders and the USB-C type charger. And of course, let's listen to the sound of the closing door before we get inside. Boom. That is very nice, very solid. And take a look at the front door panel. So you have the 2 memory seat settings, of course, the windows, locks, mirror controls right here, Harbin Cardon stereo, and then you have the same trim as you see in the back with a lot more storage at the bottom of the door right here. Now both seats, driver and passenger, have the power adjustments, with the driver having some of the extra adjustments for the lumbar and the bolsters, I believe. And the seats here in the front, X-line embossed inside of here, really nicely profiled, but super comfortable as well. And then before we get in, let's take a look and see what we have on the left hand side. So we have the dimmer, the tow button right here, hill descent assist, gate opener, traction control, and then the steering wheel is tilt and telescoping. It is manual adjustment right here, so there's no power. That would be a nice added option if you could get one. Now let's get inside, I'll show you the rest of it. Well, and it feels so good in the air conditioning and this scorching Florida heat. I don't even know what the temperature is, but it is as humid as it can possibly get. So nice trim, the same trim as you've seen on the door panels, and this is wrapped in this leather looking material. Of course, this is not real leather, but it feels nice, soft. You have this curved panel right in front that holds both 12.3-inch screens for the infotainment system and for your digital instrument cluster. I like the steering wheel, feels good to the touch, feels good in your hand, and it is the 4-spoke steering wheel, Kia logo. You have different modes in here. Now, is it the same as on 2023? I don't remember, but it looks slightly different. So you have the mode button, which is customizable. Also the star button right at the bottom, that's customizable. You have up and down to select, and if you push on it, then you'll select whatever you're looking for. You have the voice control, volume and mute button, phone button on this side, and then again you have the menu button, cruise control, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist. Lots of safety technology in this vehicle. And then let's take a look at the instrument cluster. So this is all digital. Right now we have the gauges. I believe they are adjusted so they switch when I switch the drive mode. So we have smart, sport, comfort, eco, and snow. And I'll show you one more screen once we get to the settings. That's not available as far as the drive modes, but this is how they change. I'm going to leave it in sport. Now on the left hand side you have a speedometer, on the right hand side you have a tachometer. You also have the temperature and fuel gauges, and right on top is the menu which we can go through. So you have the drive info, compass information as far as where the torque is going once we start driving, and then you can also go, and some of those features you can go up and down. So trip 1, trip 2, accumulated info, auto stop, etc., and go to compass, and information, tire pressure, or torque, whichever one you want. Then of course you have 90 degrees outside, that's what it says here. 9.7 miles per gallon. This is not right. 24 on the highway, 18 in the city, 20 is the combined number as far as the gas mileage. Now let's get this thing started right here. This is your menu. So typical Kia menu, that hasn't changed. So you have your map, navigation menu right there. Phone projection, which is still, I believe, unless they change it. Let's take a look. Phone projection, hit that. No, you still have to use the USB cable in order to connect your Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. And then you have the voice memo, climate, valet mode, passenger talk that projects your voice in through the speakers to the third row seat in case the kids pretend like they didn't hear what you said. Let's end that and let's go back to our home screen. Quiet mode that limits the output of the front speakers, completely mutes the rear speakers, and you have the rear climate control settings. Then you can lock it, I believe. Yep, look, rear climate control. So if you have kids that are like me that like to change their own stuff, but we don't want them to, this is where you lock them and they won't be able to. Now let's go back. HD radio data, radio. This is what we have. So you have the FM, AM, Sirius, and there you go, Sirius XM. All right, we'll just turn that off instead of turning it down. And let's go back to the radio right here. So AM, FM, Sirius XM, that's what your sources are. And then of course, and go back and let's see what else. So we have the media. Kia Connect, which you can use your digital key if you have a subscription to this. You don't even have to have this physical fob that I showed you. And notifications and media, of course, if you have another source of it, so through Android Auto. They also have the sounds of nature. Let's see, they've done some upgrades for 2023. Let's see, they have sound settings, split screen. Well, let's see, list of calm sea waves. We've had that before. City at Dawn, experience the universe. I think it's the same as on 2023. Well, this is the QLS. You can hear the experience of it. Really nice, really deep, like a 3D studio sound. All right, let's turn that off. Let's go back to the main screen. And I think we've covered basically all of the little icons that are here. Scrolling down, you have your vans right here, of course, and your shortcut buttons, map, navi, radio, media, hazard light, seek, track, another button that you can customize and set up. Oh, here's another thing that I was going to show you as far as the setup. There's another screen or display that we haven't seen. So right now, well, this is just a regular display settings. Yeah, this is really nice. You can put on the blue light filter so it doesn't hurt your eyes. And let's go back here. Screen layout. So now we have it cluster theme selection. If I uncheck it, I can go to the dynamic mode, and here's what it does. So it turns your display into like a little picture, and they call it dynamic because, as you can see, this mimics what's going on outside. So right now we have like this partly cloudy sky, and that displays a partly cloudy sky in here. If it was raining, it would say rain. If it was sunshine, that would be a sunshine in here, which is pretty nice feature. A lot of people don't know about it. You get it on the SX Prestige and both of the of course SX Prestige X lines or X Pro. Well, let's go back here, and this is pretty much everything here, but we haven't checked that rear view camera, and this is it. So this is a top view, so it's a full 360 camera, and we have several different angles: side, front, rear, from the top. And also rotate this vehicle. Okay, I'm not sure if you can change the color of it. No, some of the vehicles allow you to change the colors, but when you go back to the rear view camera right here, And we can see we have the active trajectory lines, which also show the trajectory for the front of the vehicle, and that's really important as far as the safety feature. So nice quality, takes up the entire screen. There's really no complaints here. Let's get out of here. And one more thing that is going to be easier to show you from here. When I turn the turn signal to the right, you can see what's going on the right hand side. So the camera turns on, and the same thing on the left hand side. So this is part of this, like a digital blind spot assist. There's also another camera right on top, and that turns this rear view mirror into a monitor to see what's going on behind you. So if you have people sitting in all 3 rows, this one definitely comes in handy. I also have the home link system and some settings for that camera. Since we're right on top here, so let's see what else we have. There is 2 sunroofs in here, one in the front and one in the back. There you go. I can't reach my camera in here. You can open this manually, and you can open the rear one. Let's see. So this opens up, and the rear one is only basically the shade that you can get open, but the front one you can tilt and slide, and this is it. This is how much it opens. Close it up. Back to the bottom portion right here. So we already went through some of the shortcut buttons. This is of course your volume push button, and then this is your tune and seek, and you can kind of switch them around if you wanted them on the other side, and you can customize of course that star button. This is where you start and stop the vehicle. You have the heated steering wheel, the temperature adjustments right over here, some shortcuts. So you have the dual zone in front and another zone in the back. So you have the tri-zone climate control. Right on top you have the heated and ventilated seats, and on each side that's for driver and passenger. This one you can close off. Don't worry about this white sticker. This is a brand new vehicle. And right inside you have the USB Type-C, USB Type-A, 12-volt power adapter, wireless charging, another storage compartment right here, big cup holders. This is where you switch your different drive modes. You can also lock your differential in here by pushing on this button, and then you can turn off your automatic start stop button, auto hold for your brakes. This is your electronic parking brake. You also have the camera right here, and you can turn off your parking sensors. Now, somewhat of a traditional shifter for the vehicle, looks really nice, and you have the ability to shift it and put it in the manual mode. Now there's no pedal shifters on the steering wheel, so if you want to shift it, you'll have to do it through here. And I want to point out these portions right here, those are the grab handles, nicely padded with leather contrast stitching in here. And then this opens up, of course. You have a little bit more storage, and oh, it's quite a bit of storage, down below. And you can see that there is also a USB Type-C outlet down at the bottom. You have this little tray for whatever you want to use it for. Now, one last thing, I'm just going to point out that these pedals are aluminum with some of the rubber stubs on them, so your foot won't slip. And this is the interior of this 2024 Kia Telluride SX Prestige X-Line. Now, let's take it on the road. Well, as I'm sitting here right now, I'm looking at this press release from Kia that gives you the different options, the different trim levels that are available, and I counted 14. Now, that's because there is a front-wheel drive and an all-wheel drive. So LX front-wheel drive starts at $35,990. That's excluding the $1,365 destination charge. You have to add that on it. But $2,000 extra for the all-wheel drive, so $37,990. Then the next trim is the S front-wheel drive, $37,890, $39,890 for the all-wheel drive. EX, $41,590, $43,590. That's front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. EX X-Line, Then the SX front-wheel drive, 45,790. SX all-wheel drive, 47,790. SX all-wheel drive X-Line, 49,285. SX all-wheel drive X Pro, 50,285. SX Prestige all-wheel drive X Line, and this is the one that I'm sitting in right now, 52,185, and $1,000 more if you wanted to get the SX Prestige all-wheel drive X Pro. Now the X Pro is the more functional off-roady type of vehicle. All of them powered with the same powertrain, 3.8 liter engine, 8-speed automatic transmission, so there's no difference there. But the difference in features is huge. So go to your Kia dealership and check out what they have, see if you can play around with it and see which options you need. This one pretty much has them all. Now I'm going to post in the description of this video as far as the total price on it with the destination charge. Now the only two things that were added to this vehicle is sage green interior color package, which is really nice, at $295. Carpeted floor mats, $225. So with the destination charge, the MSRP is $54,070. Now there's been some accessories added by the dealership, but since they're not from the factory, we're not even gonna get into it. And I'm gonna post all of that in the description box below of this video. Let's take it for a spin. Now I've driven the Tellurides before, really impressed with them. Now we're gonna start with the turning radius, and we're gonna do that right in this empty parking lot where I'm at. I'm gonna count some parking spots. How about this? I have steering wheel all the way to the left, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and about 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna make it, hopefully. Yeah, we made it. All right, so this is your turning radius, very nice and tight for a vehicle that's about 196 inches. So it is on the larger side, that's for sure. And it is definitely stiffer than some of the Toyota models that I've test driven. I like the way that this suspension handles. There's really not much of a body roll. And the steering wheel's got quite a bit of weight to it, so you feel it when you turn it, that's for sure. And this is the way that a lot of people like it, including myself. Now we're gonna do a quick get off the line acceleration here, but I'm gonna try to do a complete one on the actual road. So let's go here. And let's hit that brake. All right, now of course we have a bunch of stuff in the back that's rolling around. I apologize for that noise. So this huge windshield gives you a really nice view of the road, several different adjustments for the seating positions depending on how tall or short you are. You can find your perfect position, I'm pretty sure. And nice big windows on the sides, decent sized mirrors. I love this rear view camera mirror, that really helps a lot. With a blind spot assist in the instrument cluster itself, those little monitors that turn on, you really can't go wrong. I'm gonna do a little bit of a half throttle, kind of nothing too crazy, see how merging in traffic would be. They can definitely hear the engine. Now we're in the sport mode. I don't know if it changes anything or not. Let's put it in the comfort mode for a second. There you go. Well, actually it does. I think they're speaker enhanced, and I like to see where that torque is going. Like right now, when I hit the accelerator, it looks like probably about 70% to the front wheels, about 32 the rear wheels, which is interesting always to see. And we're going to check out the acceleration here in just a bit. But overall, nice and quiet. I think in the comfort mode is definitely quieter. I'm going to put it into the smart mode and let the vehicle decide of how to adjust it. This is, you know, we're letting the artificial intelligence adjust the settings for us. But there is a stretch of road that is open, and I'm going to be able to do the acceleration test. Actually, I just turn around right here. This is quite open. Put it in the sport mode now, 0, and let's go. Yeah, 30, 40, 50, and 60. It's quick. It's about 7.1 seconds 0 to 60, which is a decent number. Now, of course, it's not something that you want to put on the track and race, but this is not what this vehicle is for. It is very comfortable, very luxurious, non-luxury brand SUV. So Kia moved up quite a bit in rankings since the inception, since the first Sportages and Spectra started coming off their production line years and years ago, and now it's no longer treated as this vehicle that go like, hey, what are you driving, Kia? No, it's like, what are you driving, Kia? Oh wow, I like Kias. And pretty much all of the models that I have tested are good. They covered by the same industry best warranty, which includes your 10 years, of course, and 100,000 miles powertrain warranty, 5 years 60, basically a limited warranty on everything else. And the cars look good, they feel good, they drive good, they have great warranty. Definitely something that's important when you're considering or shopping for your new vehicle. And if you're anywhere in Florida, check out the guys at Gettle Kia in Bradenton, Florida. Good group of people. They'll help you out with your automotive needs. I'm going to post their phone number and link in the description of this video. If you are interested in any of the cars that they have, just give them a call. Well, to sum it all up, I don't know. If I wanted to change one thing about this vehicle, what would it be? Now, this is going to be me picking up on stuff that really you can definitely live without. But for me, personally, I'd love to see that wireless Android Auto, so I don't have to worry about plugging in my phone. I just put it on the wireless charger and it connects to it, and that would be great. And if I were to really try to find something, is also that tilt and telescoping steering wheel in the top of the line model. If they included that, and that was a power adjusted, that would be even better. Other than that, this vehicle is near perfect. It feels like it and it looks like it too, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.